Oh, I say, it's the 4th of July, and we have had a very exciting, worrisome night at the Westward Ho. We've had the first monsoon storm of the season swept into the valley, carrying dust, dirt, and anyway.
And I got a new shirt.
Yes, he feared for my life because I went out
No, I didn't.
yesterday and 110
I feared that
or
you were going to
9,
get me a new shirt.
110
And that,
degrees. Yes, this is his 4th of July present.
oh, yes. And check this out. It's got the
Yes.
red shorts and
Yeah.
whoa. And how do you like this hat that was
Because
designed?
I am.
This hat was designed for. The only reason it isn't covering my
But
eyes
it's
is
blue.
my ears.
That's why he
My
has
ears
to
are
wear it.
underneath the inside.
I have a red cap. You see, I'm red, white, and blue. And he is blue, red, a little white there. So I thought that this was our outfits for the 4th of July because we need to come on here and tell. We had a power outrage after, let's see.
Outraged.
And I was, the power went off in the middle of the night. Well, in 100 or so plus degrees heat in Phoenix, when the power goes off, no matter when it is, night or when, it is bad news.
No, the panic is the elevators don't work.
Yeah, the
All the
elevators
dogs
don't work.
pissing in the hallway.
chiller doesn't work. And I thought my son would be to work. I forgot it was a holiday, so I called him up at 4:30 in the morning, and he answered the phone, and I said, Gary, the temperature is now 83 in my room. My smoke alarm had gone off, indicating what?
That's
And,
what I want to know.
so
There's no smoke. How did your alarm go off?
Well, it was
Yeah,
heated.
well.
It was too hot in my bedroom, and so anyway, I called him and said, well, I might have to come over there and stay with you a few days if things get too bad. Because how do I know? The chiller might cost thousands, millions of dollars, and they can't get it back on, or maybe it's broke. Who knows what's happening down there? The elevators were down. And usually we go up, when something like this happens, we go down, we scream and holler, we run around, we say,
Well, first
and
of all,
we couldn't even go down there and scream and holler because the elevators were
The
down.
elevators not working.
So
The
I
dogs
finally
are
called him
pissing.
up at 4:35, 5. I called him at 5. And he went out, checked, see if the elevators were down on his floor too. He said they were. And a maintenance, I
That's
guess,
funny
was
though,
going to
you know,
have to
it goes-
come in and reprogram the elevators.
No, they don't reprogram
Well,
it.
who does
They
it?
just boot it back up, which means it just. You know where the circuit breaker is?
Where's that blood? What happened to you? I'm trying to see if he survived the night, and I just leave him here if I have to evacuate. And he wouldn't have any place to go either. But I have kids here. I've already called my daughter and asked her if she was off work, and she said, Mom, I'm in Colorado vacationing at Estes Park. Okay, sorry, forget I called.
You know where Estes Park is?
It's up in the mountains somewhere.
No, that is.
Where?
That is the, what do they call it? The doorway to the Rocky Mountains?
The Rocky Mountains,
Or whatever
yes.
they call it.
And there
Estes
she
Park
was,
is
and I
the
had no idea
first
she
park
even
into the
left town. She said,
The Rocky
I
Mountains.
guess I didn't get everybody notified. Well, I think, I remember her saying something about
Got
she was
me
going this
notified,
summer,
that's for
but she
sure.
didn't get me notified. So then I had to call my son, forgetting that he wasn't to work. So I don't think he was too happy on his
vocabulary is, right?
weekend free, and this guy's been working so hard out on the backhoe when it's 110 He'd been on the backhoe the day
That's why it
before
gets
when
all
I
big
was
bucks.
out getting
Or it gets a big
food and shopping and for
And-
this and I also got
Oh,
this.
don't forget to
I
say,
needed
this is
a-
silk.
red, white,
Made in
and blue
China.
for this
Oh, no, it's
video
so made in
because otherwise it wouldn't match. So, but anyway, more has happened. This is not even
See?
half of it. I mean, it is now
Oh, geez, that's here all
9
day.
o'clock, and someone has miraculously come in, restored the one elevator to work. I have been down having a great big discussion in the video room with the newly elected
Snake.
chair, Snake. And we had a really great discussion down there, and we didn't get in any bad fights, I'm happy to report.
Well,
Because
tell me what a
usually
good
a
fight
tenants
is.
organization,
What is a good fight?
You
now?
have fights.
You know what a good
Yeah.
fight is? That is when I'm beating the crap out of you, and a bad
Oh.
fight's when you're beating the crap out of me.
And the reason, and he doesn't go to the video room, he doesn't go anywhere and associate with people anymore. He said he just associates with them when he comes up in the elevator. So, but he is good for something. He's good for these videos, because I don't think I could get anybody else to do these videos like he does. I come in and say, well, let's make a video. He's already, he sets it up, he turns the lights on, and he had to jiggle a long time before he got the camera to work properly and the TV to be in sync with it. Who else can I get to do that? That's why I still associate with him, because I need him. And he is, I'd have to stop making videos. And
Boy, bet the
I
world
wouldn't be
would
able to
be
give you the
surprised at that,
news
wouldn't
at
they?
the Westward Ho, because we have just been notified that come September, this is going to be a smoke-free building.
That's what
That
they
means
wanted.
you
to do.
cannot smoke in your room.
That's what they wanted.
And I thought, oh, thank God, thank God. Down the road a ways, they're not going to let them drink alcohol in their rooms. And I don't blame them. Alcoholics, they're bad housekeepers, believe me.
How come?
Bad housekeepers, worse than smokers, worse.
How come they've got
And
prescription
usually,
drug people who sell drugs, up and down the hallways? They didn't say
They don't
anything about
know
drug
that. They
dealers.
can't prove
Didn't say
anything.
anything. Oh,
Management has
bullshit.
to prove.
You get a drug sniffing dog in this place, and he'll be passed out by the time he passes the hallway.
Oh, that's what he says. He said. But I told him, I said, guess what? And one smoker ordered me to go right downtown and protest to the mayor. And I said, I'm sorry, but I don't smoke. She says, well, you care about people's rights getting taken away from them, the right to smoke. And I said,
I hate to
well, I don't know.
I hate to tell you this, but
I
the
don't
mayor
know
has
because
nothing to do with the situation. Nothing.
Well, free. We have the right, the American right to smoke. And I thought, subsidized housing. See, we're getting a big break on our rent. And I'm wondering, is it
No, you're
right
not.
to
You don't have any
spend?
money to get regular rent.
Well, we
Hello?
have some
Anybody-
money. And,
Anybody in there?
well, let me tell you, if we didn't have subsidized housing, we'd have to spend our money on rent.
You wouldn't. You'd
Well,
be
what would we
homeless.
do?
You'd
We'd be
in the
homeless?
slums.
Oh, yeah. Well,
These are what is now taking
America
place. These are the
has,
high-rise slums of the old days.
subsidized housing. And you think that people are grateful? Heavens no, they just complain all the time. They're taking our rights away from us. We can't smoke. We can't start fires in our rooms. We can't
Well,
cause people to
it's-
complain and to
it's true.
smoke. And
if you start a fire in your room, well, I've got this little barbecue pit here. It's a hibachi. The smoke alarm keeps going off. But I solved that. I cut the wires on it, and it doesn't do anything anymore. I just cut the wires on it.
But I now have hope, because down the road, after they stop the smokers from smoking, the smokers are all mad. Let me tell you, they are up in arms, and they're crying. They said, I don't think I can quit smoking. I talked to Trudy last night. She's 87.
Nobody's gonna pass that.
87 years old. They've already passed it. And they're going to do it oh, he's afraid. He doesn't want to admit
I'm
that
afraid of anything. You
they're
don't
going to
even
stop
read
the smokers
anything
from
anymore.
smoking. And I have hope. In a couple of years they will stop the drinkers from drinking. This is what we needed in this place. We need people to step up and say, now look, you're not going to trash your apartment and smoke in there and start fires and do all that stuff, that smokers do, that's caused them
I don't know. What do smokers do?
And they've said that they will allow a designated place down the patio where they can still smoke. But they will have to sign an agreement not to smoke in their apartments. And if they do smoke in them, this could be grounds for them to be evicted.
No, you read that wrong.
Yes, it does. It said
No, it doesn't.
that you have to sign and agree for this not to smoke in your apartment. Isn't that true?
Right, but this is a smoke-free environment.
Environment. Oh.
That includes
And
everything.
guess what, people? In a couple of years, they'll have an alcohol-free environment.
What are you, a trained seaman?
Oh my God, won't that be wonderful? He won't be able to. Well, I needed help. This
Beep,
man,
beep,
he's
beep,
just like
beep.
these smokers. He can't quit drinking. Why not then ban drinking? Why in the world should drinkers be able to drag in tons and tons of bottles
Say, by
and
the way,
smokers be banned?
did you remember what one of the
I know
stupid-
and then after that comes potato chips.
Oh, please don't
Those
take my
snacks.
Cheez-Its away.
There's every snack in here.
I'm
not
going
good
to get
for you.
some popcorn and do it right
It's
now
not
before
good
there's
for
no
you.
popcorn allowed. I'm going to stick it in the
And,
microwave right now.
and
have
there's a
popcorn
lot
this
of people
morning.
that need help. I mean, you should see what they drag stuff in here. Cakes, pies, anybody can bring their old cakes and pies they didn't sell here, and people just snatch them up. Even though they've got diabetes, their legs are about to have to be cut off and all that stuff, they'll still eat what's bad for them. They can't control themselves. So they need to have this place cleaned up. Potato chips will be next. Coke, candy bars, Snickers. I know management knows that smoking is not the only problem in here.
I'll
These
tell you one thing.
alcoholics.
I'll tell you one thing, if they decide that wearing clothes in this place is not good.
Great day.
Wearing clothes in this place is not good. I will definitely find someplace else in this whole world where even
Oh,
if
I am
don't.
so happy. I know it's not going to be right away because they couldn't start denying us every vice right all at once. They've got
is not
smoking now.
advised.
And just imagine how much they're going to save on medical, lung cancer, all that sort of thing, emphysema. And we got a lot of them in here, and we got a bunch of smokers. They are outraged. They're going to stop this. They're going to keep the right to smoke. I already
Drinking is bad
protested
for
in
your lungs,
the
too,
survey.
now,
I
if you don't
said
get it down.
we should not discriminate in vices. We should ban alcohol. We should ban bad smacks. Above all, and we should ban free food that's bad for people, and give diabetics upside down cake and all that sort of thing. That's criminal. But the people who bring it in, I don't have the heart to cuss them because
What the hell is
they
an upside
think
down
they're
cake?
helping.
What's an upside down
They're
cake?
helping people. What? By giving them something that's poison to them because they can't resist it. So, boy, What a day. Now, I'm very interested to see if they're actually, because the smokers are up in arms. They are going to stop this, because this is going to kill them. If, Trudy told me she's 87. She smoked for years and years, 60, I don't know how many. And if she can't have her smoke in the morning in her apartment, it calms her down. That's what she told me, and I said, and another one told me, almost in tears, I don't think I can quit smoking. I don't think I can. And I told Trudy, I said, don't think about it. Just think about it maybe a little bit every day. And by the time it gets her, maybe. Because guess what, people? Us old people, we have to die. My God, if we can't even adjust to one little change, how are we going to get along without our bodies? Being born is the most traumatic thing that can happen to a baby. I mean, they've got to get out of the body and out. Well, the most traumatic thing an old person's got to do is die.
Do whatever the hell
and if we sit around here saying, oh, I can adjust to this, I can adjust to that, I can give up my smoking. Good heavens, in a year or two, she'll probably have to give up her life. And she's worrying about giving up her cigarette. And so I try and tell her, Trudy, remember, us old people's got to die. And that's going to be a lot harder than giving up smoking shortly unless you think he'll kill you. And if he gives up alcohol, oh my word, won't he be sick? He'll be trembling and shaking. We'll have to put him in the hospital to get him detoxed.
What are you talking about?
It's coming. It's coming.
Haven't you ever heard of prohibition? What a wonderful asinine thing the country ever pulled off with somebody just like you up there screaming and howling. So the politicians go, okay,
Prohibition. Oh, he's a great fan of prohibition. Great fan.
Oh yeah.
Look at him.
Let's let the lawless people.
He's scared. I'm getting help at last. I've needed help with this guy. He's causing me so much misery with his drinking. He won't quit. Now, I have hope that management is going to step in and help me by banning. I can't wait. How are they going to do it? Oh, I just think about that. Well, how are they going to stop people from smoking? You can smell it. This is going to be so interesting to see how they're going to keep this a smoke-free building. Because then, government, guess what? Will say, now we can't be subsidizing you and giving you a place to live if you're just going to drink, smoke, and eat till we cost the country millions of dollars in medical costs.
Why don't we just cut off the eating part? People don't need to eat. We're talking about 30 days, they're freaking
Look
dead.
at him.
Maybe
He's
45 days. If they're big and fat, they might last.
He thinks food is on the same level.
You just said food. You just said
I said bad food.
You didn't say bad.
Oh, it's going to take quite a thing for us to be able to discriminate. Cake is not a good food.
Not
especially for an old diabetic to be eating.
Not for you, it's not.
Not for any diabetic. Anybody who's overweight, cake should be on the list of, should not be brought in this place and given to people. It should be against the law to do that. Just like it's going to be against their rules to smoke. So I just think this is a wonderful trend. I've been happy thinking about him finally getting help for management banning alcohol. And all they have to do is smell his breath, and they'll know whether he's been drinking or not. They'll know.
Well, when they start sniffing around my butt, they're gonna really be surprised. What have you been eating, sir?
What have you been drinking?
God.
Oh,
they start sniffing around my butt.
And it's made him pretty sour. As I came in here, I was celebrating. I said, and this is going to put a lot of pressure on the drinkers.
You know
and
what?
The eaters.
You'll be long dead before anything like that happens. Believe me.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, I think
we would have
so.
said no smoke-free building. That was just out of the question.
I'd vote against it
now-
just on general principles.
Smoke-free building. And general principles, people should have the right to kill themselves any way they want to. They can smoke and they can eat and they can drink. And we should have our rights and we should have our subsidized housing and we should have our air conditioning and we should have people get fixed. We should have elevators and we should have everything. But we can't be expected to give up our vices. No! That's against the rights of American people to do bad if they want to.
That's it. Well,
They're going to have to sign something that says you can't live here
by the way,
unless you agree not to smoke in your room.
just to let you know, this is Independence Day. Okay? Now,
Oh,
you
I'm
realize
doing a
that,
happy dance.
yes, but you
I'm
realize that
happy
America
dance.
had a real problem with, Britain, and they just said, well, Britain gets the finger, and we're going to kill people, and we're going to keep killing people until we get our independence. Then after they got their independence, they realized, it wasn't as good as we thought it was going to be, Now we got this problem with people like, why don't you join the church?
Oh my gosh, well I'm sure it's going to take him a little while to get to the drinking, but I'm hoping now that it'll get there before he dies. Save him. Save him from himself.
I'm hoping
he is not able
if
to
it gets
save
there, it'll do it
himself.
after I'm dead. Okay. As a matter of fact, if that happens,
blah, 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 blah. You're
Yeah.
going to get saved in spite of yourself.
that'll